Welcome back to First Listens, that series where we listen to an album that neither of us have heard for the first time. Today, it's Yungblud's Weird, but we're joined by Will from Cinematics, who most definitely has heard this album before.
Yeah, I've definitely heard this album many, many times. It's like my Bible. So hopefully I'll be able to have some sort of insight to this listen. But yeah, I'm excited.
This is his second album, released in 2020, off the back of his first album a few years before that, 21st Century Liability. We're going to jump into things here with the first track, Teresa. Oh, spooky intro.
This song is gorgeous as well.
Teresa, I'm sorry that they stole your heart. So how them at all to blame you?
He's coming right off the bat with the impressive vocals, isn't he?
Then cried a little. They're always gonna see through you. They're gonna try to take your heart. They're always gonna confuse
I quite like the delivery there, the way that he's kind of flowing through it.
The thing about this song as well is it builds all the way throughout.
It's a bit more of a ballad, isn't it, with the piano?
Yeah. I mean, with his newest album as well, it seems like he likes these intro ballad tracks to get you into the swing
it
of
feels like
things.
this is where he started.
I like the slight reverb on his voice as well on those second lines. Whew. Powerful kick in there.
See what I mean? It just keeps building throughout.
Get the lighters out.
Properly slowing the tempo down as we go out.
And builds back up for the end, which is lovely.
Yeah, here we go.
Mad. Sick way to introduce it.
Whew,
Like
yeah.
you said, it was pretty theatrical, like the introduction to his latest album. It felt really grand, especially towards the end there, like it had built up to this big crescendo.
In the whole lead up to Idols, he was talking about how it's taken 4 years to make that album, and that would take it back for when Weird was being made and released. So the sort of rock opera influences throughout this album, because that's not the only one, definitely that's where you can see the stepping stones of what he did with Idols. But yeah, Teresa's one of my favourite Yungblud
That's
tracks.
like the formation of the idea that he would then come with later down the line, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, up next is track number 2, Parents, and I believe this is one of the bigger ones. I think this is one that I've definitely heard before at some point.
Which I just want to say as well is incorrect. Parents is not on Weird, but we will listen to it. It's not actually on the album. I don't know why they do this on.
Oh, has it been added in later?
Yeah, but we'll listen to it. It is one of his biggest tracks.
Well, it's on the album here.
And this is the kind of law that you wouldn't get with us, and we're glad that you're here for that.
2019 classic.
Yeah, this is, yeah. This is giving big initial, like, first album Yungblud. Yeah. It's really interesting to hear how his voice sounds on songs like this versus how it now sounds on, like, Idols.
Yeah, even though this is a big song for him, I way prefer the stuff he's done since.
I like that synth in the background. It's carrying it, innit?
Parents ain't always right.
I recognise that aye as.
Toast it in my bath. Watch my mum and dad laugh. See 1,000 volts go through the sun. They wish they never had. They told me casual affection leads to sexual infection, but it's hard to get an erection when you're so used to rejection.
The lyrics are pretty wild though, aren't they? Like they're so strange.
And if he released something like that now, it'd just be so cringe.
When my breathing stops, 'cause my
The way that he switches between that kind of more rap-esque delivery and then
Yeah.
goes into the singing's really impressive though.
It's interesting that he's still, this is an album, well, this song in particular, he's still got his accent when he sings,
Yeah.
which I feel like he's kind of shirked away from in later releases.
And that was a big thing with his earlier stuff. He'd do a very singy chorus and then almost rap delivery verses.
stop the clock because I get the feeling that I'm gonna get shot. Tick tock, stop.
I like the ticking clock in that bit as well. That's cool. Cool little addition.
Parents ain't always right.
Oh, we were talking beforehand about 21 Pilots and the kind of sound is quite similar. And I do think that is in a similar vein because it's the bass and drums plus the kind of rap delivery that isn't quite full on rap. It's kind of spoken word. And it's interesting to hear the similarities there.
Yeah, I think earlier on in his career, he was a lot more hip-hop focused, mixed with punk, and it was trying to do this new wave. And he had some success with it, but I think as an artist, he's grown so much more. Like, the song before, Teresa, is way more of a grown-up and elevated song than Parents.
The contrast between those two is crazy. But I guess, like you were saying, if Parents wasn't supposed to be on the album, then they've kind of just shoehorned it in there.
Well, Parents was on his EP just before the Underrated Youth EP, and it fits in a lot better there. The songs on that are a lot more of that style.
Yeah, I was going to say, that really reminds me of kind of when I first heard Yungblud, that style, the way he's delivering it, even like the lyrical content, and it been quite angsty. I know he still has some of that, but more recently he's moved away from it a little bit. And I like that style. It reminds me of when I was younger and feeling that way. But up next, track number 3 is Cotton Candy.
Which is interesting because in the UK, that's candy floss.
Yeah.
Yeah, why has he done that?
I don't know.
For such a UK artist as well.
Yeah. I like that bass tone. That's cool.
It's a very safe single, this one.
I get vertigo from body overdose. So tell me your
It's a bit more dancey, innit? You feel like you could move about to it.
That bass line's got a bit of a Tame Impala vibe to it a little bit.
between your teeth like cotton candy.
Coming on to the chorus, I love the layered voice.
Oh, I expected it to like boot in there for some reason. How Cotton Candy doesn't get stuck between your teeth and dissolves.
Took it out my mouth, man. I
saw-
thought that was going to be, yeah.
I saw someone say that it'd be better if the song was called Pork Chops.
Yeah, it wouldn't quite have the same ring to it, but
Little guitar interlude.
The biggest takeaway, I think, is the bass work throughout it.
It's a solid bass line that he's got there. Just sounds so nice. I don't know how they've done that. It's such a good tone.
I know what you mean when you said it feels like quite a safe single. It was a little bit repetitive, but the thing that I actually really liked about it was the vocal performance. Like, there was so many different pitched harmonies and stuff coming in and out all the time that it was quite unique in its vocals. And I feel like it's the calmest we've had Yungblud so far on the album, but I think that actually suited him really well in this track.
That's kind of him backing up what he did on the first track there as well. Like, say with 2 real tracks in If Parents wasn't meant to be on here, this is clearly him saying, you know, I've been working on my vocal chops. I've got better with the vocals as they go. And he's putting it on display here by having these more sing-songy verses.
Yeah, and I think this is something that has been popular for a while, because even if you look at newer ones like Lola Young's Messy, that's a lot of bass work, it's layered vocals, and it is very repetitive. Cotton Candy is a good single, but that's one of those songs when you see rock fans talking about Yungblud's a rock artist, but this is what he's making. That's where I do see the criticism. But yeah, it's nostalgic for me. And
I can understand that though, but when you've got artists, you know, such as, let's use MGK as an example, who comes from the hip hop scene and is now in the pop punk and now in whatever you could class his new album as, it's just a progression of an artist, and we've spoke about this many times.
He's
because
in the genre of mid.
Yeah, people just get really upset when an artist tries to do something new and goes down a new avenue. Like we were talking about Turnstile with their new 2 albums, where people just get antsy about it and they say, "Oh, this isn't the real sound that you should go for." Artists can evolve. Like, they don't have to do the same album 15 times. They need to change things up, and I think he does a good job of it.
No, I absolutely agree with every word you just said.
Well, before we go on to track number 4, if you are a music fan, if you're a Yungblud fan, don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll also leave a link to Cinematics in the description if you want to catch up on some extra Yungblud content. But next is Strawberry Lipstick.
This is one of my favourites.
Oh, immediately heavier here.
This is the most punk he's been.
It's much darker, isn't it?
With his accent, this suits him so well.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, it opens up nicely there.
Yeah.
I can imagine everyone bouncing around to this.
Yeah, losing their minds. Like the shouty vocals that are just buried in the mix slightly, just adds a little angst to it.
Again, with these layers of vocals on top of each other, it works so well.
Likes having these little interludes for the instruments to speak, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I feel like this is every track's had one so far.
Adam Warrington, fantastic guitar player.
I think he's done a really good job so far of switching up how the songs make you feel. Like, that was much more high tempo, a bit angstier. You could tell in his voice that it was a little bit rawer sometimes, like he was really like going for the vocals. And still, we're only 4 tracks in. I feel like we've had a few different little sounds. I'm enjoying it.
That felt like it was kind of him going for the more singy style on the back of Cotton Candy, which was the single, because that still had a little bit of repetition in it, but it was more, it felt more personal in the things that he was saying, versus Cotton Candy, which felt a bit more like a single. This felt like it was, yeah, I liked it.
I think the biggest strength about that song is it's one of the few songs that really, when you look at Yungblud, you see someone with a punk aesthetic, especially back then when he had the red hair and makeup on and all that. And that's one of the few songs that I feel like fully reflects it. Because a lot of Yungblud stuff is very much inspired by artists like The Cure, David Bowie, and the sort of glam rock style. Whereas that song just encapsulates everything for Yungblud for me. For a long time, it was his opening song for his shows. And it's just such high energy. I love it. It's perfect.
Well, it's time to go to Mars, boys.
I'd bring your tissues to Mars because this is a sad song.
She was only 17, had the saddest pair of eyes that you ever seen. What them lips in a cold, it was matching green. But she can't be herself when she's somebody else. In the morning she would take her mother's wedding ring. But school got pretty tough when they see it gleam. So she hit her.
Again, his accent works so well on this.
Yeah, she dreams she go to California, that everyone would adore her. and all her mates will call her till 4 in the morning. Is there any life on Mars? Is there any
David Bowie kind of. Yeah.
Is there any life on Mars?
I really like how, literally compared to Strawberry Lipstick last, the vocals on this sound like he's not really like putting loads of force into it, but it just sounds clean.
Joe.
We got time yet.
I see what you mean though. Throughout, it's nice to have that contrast because then otherwise it's not going to hit as hard.
Like here, it's like he's just talking.
Bringing it down, and that gives an element of intimacy to it.
I like the rhyming scheme of 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
I've never thought of that before, but I like that.
Here's where it gets sad.
Oh no.
Clean, beautiful vocals.
What I really enjoyed about that outro is that he kept the power and the emotion in his voice and let the instruments that had built up to that point drop out, which then really contrasted and kind of gave it this new energy where you could actually feel the raw emotion that was coming out in it.
The way that he does, like when it's obviously not quite screaming, but when he's singing some of those more angry notes and like the raspiness that comes through in his voice, but it doesn't destroy the note. Do you know what I mean? It works really well. That was my main takeaway from that song.
And it's a unique one, his style of vocals, because it's almost like a shriek. And like you say, the rasp. And that, so many times that's killed tracks where you just like, okay, you're overdoing it. The amount of Bring the Horizon tracks that Ollie Sykes has wrecked because he's trying to do too much. Yungblud, he has had songs that aren't my favourites, but on Mars, that's him at his best.
Well, he's using it as like an accent, as in like he's accenting the track where he's saying, right, I'm gonna have this build up and I'm gonna be a lot more softer in my vocals in the initial part. Then we had that crescendo of the instruments with the raspiness, and then everything dropping out, just leaving the raspiness in there, and phenomenal stuff.
Completely. And what I think with that one is it feels like such an intimate song, but with Yungblud, there seems to be Yungblud and Dom. And it feels like on the verses, you're getting Dom. On the choruses, you're getting Yungblud, which I love.
Well, up next, Super Dead Friends.
Oh, club track, come on.
Got a Skrillex feature.
Dubstep. Oh,
Not what I was expecting.
I like this, though. It's
Bringing
good.
it from the sad, giving us more energy. Perfect.
When you're making a baby a mission rib, be prepared to accept what they're going to be is a crazy line.
Be there for a while.
Catchy hook, this.
This political element to the lyrics is, again, very much like his older style.
Yeah, I feel like the lyrics are more real and a
Yeah.
bit more like visceral. I like it when the hook comes back in. I'm like, yeah, it's back again. It's so catchy. Not really sure what it means, but it sounds good.
I remember seeing a video of him saying that he wanted a song to open his set with, and then this just came out.
Fair enough. Yeah, I always like it when an artist does the filter that brings in the low voice. I think it can be overused, but in that one, it was just used in the intro and the outro. And if you're saying like he used it as an intro track for his sets, that's going to get the energy up immediately. Because as soon as you start hearing that, you'll be like, oh yeah, it's going to happen. The show's starting.
Especially because he played that for his first song at the first Bloodfest. As soon as you heard that scratching and then he walked out, you heard the way it starts. It just, oh, and then
just
the crowd
limbs
goes wild.
everywhere. Yeah.
See, I'd say so far on the album, that's the punkiest one. That I thought that was punkier than Parents, really. The way that he delivered the lyrics and the actual lyrical content of what he was talking about gave off more of that punk energy. I know that it had more electronic influences and stuff as well, but I quite like that side of Yungblud and all, and that was the best example of it so far, in my opinion. Up next, track number 7, and I'm imagining this is going to be very different, is Love Song.
Yes.
If it's called Love Song and it's not very different, I'll be concerned. Oh, I know this. Just from that opening bit.
It's got that kind of SoundCloud rap vibe.
I want to say something bad about one of the songs.
Feel free. Feel free.
Don't worry, there's one of them. There's one of them.
I've got to admit, in terms of like an album, he's done a very good job of taking you through a journey, of letting you have a moment to relax and then just hitting you in the face. And I appreciate a moment to relax. I do know this track. Super chill.
This is another ballad track, this, isn't it? Another lighter track, as Joe would say. Get the fucking lighters out.
Very emotional on the vocals there as well.
Yeah, he's good at getting his emotions across purely in the voice that he's using. I'm quite impressed by that.
And this as well, I think, is one of his most personal songs, because Mars was clearly written towards someone else.
Oh. Beat switcher.
There's some wind chimes in there.
Yeah, it's like a little glockenspiel or something going on.
Glockenspiel, man. I can't believe that's a real thing.
That snare.
Muffled as hell.
Yeah, just like echoing, like room mics. Oh, high pass filter, clear it up. There we go, there's the drum kit now.
Who's on its way from Mars.
Some really nice drum fills towards the end as well.
You said earlier on that some songs or elements of songs feel like Yungblud and some feel like Dom. And I think that that was epitomised in those last two songs for me. Like Super Dead Friends felt like Yungblud, high energy, going all out. And then Love Song was more so like him actually talking about himself and how he feels. And I really like that song. I think it's so chill, but then has enough energy in the second half to keep it entertaining and keep it like in theme with the album still.
Yeah, I think he does a beautiful job in, again, creating an intimate and vulnerable style to his songwriting and the delivery, because it's, to me, that song sounds like when you're overthinking and you calm yourself down, then you stress right back up and then you just work it all out. And yeah, that song I just think is so gorgeous, and especially that line about they'll pay for you to erase your memories, like gorgeous.
I mean, he's done a really good job of showing his range here, the dynamics that he's coming with. It seems like every other track is kind of going in a different direction, but it's not like we've got 4 directions that he's going in. There's clearly 2 styles that are prevalent throughout this. And like you were saying, it's kind of waving up and down where we go, right, here's a high energy one. Now I'm going to make you feel something. Now we're going to go back to having some fun. Now we're going to feel something. So my guess, although with the next song, God Save Me But Don't Drown Me Out, we might have another heartfelt one here potentially.
Definitely.
The bassist on this album needs a pay rise. Because smashed it out the park. It's simple when he needs to be, complex when it requires it. Just fantastic work.
Yeah, I think his band members are extremely underrated. Yeah, this song helped me a lot of time in my life.
Ooh, unique drums there.
Drops into that chorus nicely, doesn't it? Just
And
kinda,
again, like with so many Yungblud songs, it's sad, but it's euphoric.
Yeah.
It makes you feel better.
Yeah. Yeah, he's good at doing that. Rather than just making you feel outright depressed, it's kind of, it gives you a power. It gives you kind of like a little bit of energy to you to say, you know what, I can get through this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that. Rather than making you feel outright depressed,
Well, so,
it gives you a way around. No, I know. It was just the way you said it.
Radiohead,
That's
you know what I mean?
Oh God, yeah. In the shower.
I'm loving those drums, man. They just keep jumping in and out at the right times.
It's giving Travis Barker a run for his money, I'll tell you that. Oof.
Yeah, and
Nice little phone vocals at the end there. I do like it when an artist does that. Just adds a little kind of like a little chatty bit at the end.
See, it's crazy that I agree with you that I do like it when they do it, but it always sort of takes it away from me because the way it goes, I think we might be all right, you know. Just takes me out of it, considering that song every single time gives me goosebumps.
Yeah. That's definitely one that I can see a lot of people relating to and using that, like you say, like helping them through darker times and kind of giving them that, you know, that energy that they need to help them get through things.
I think that was probably my favourite so far. I just really liked the way that the drums came in and out. The vocals kind of still had that more raw emotional feel without it like being too on the punk side. I thought that was a good mixture of all the different elements we've had so far, done pretty well.
Would you say that's one of your favourite Yungbloods then?
Well, there's 3 songs that go as my favourites. Hope for Underrated Youth, Teresa, and God Save Me Don't Drown Me Out. But I think just because of memories of that song, yeah, absolutely, it's got to be at least in the running.
What do you think's the worst Yungblud song?
I Cry Too, off his self-titled album.
That was so fast.
You had that
there
ready.
was no hesitation.
It is legit awful.
Oh dear. Well, I mean, that's not on this album though, is it?
No,
so we'll give that one. We won't be doing that one
Happily
today.
not.
But we've had our cotton candy, got a bit of a sweet tooth going on now, so I think we should go and see the Ice Cream Man.
But this, I will just say, is my least favourite on this album.
That's a good way to start it out.
Yeah, you probably won't enjoy it. Still kind of a banger though, I can't lie.
You can't help yourself.
My man cannot badmouth Yungblud. He's like, I have to admit, I still like it.
I just hate the delivery on these vocals.
I can see what you mean. It's very, it's a bit grating.
Because this is how I think so many people think Yungblud sounds.
Yeah.
But then the chorus is alright.
Do you know what this kind of gives? Like he's trying to do with the lyrics and the way that he's singing it. Like he's trying to do that more Britpoppy style, but just
Kind
not
of
very
like,
well.
like Pulp or like Blur, kind of. Yeah.
Which he's perfected on another song on this album and loves it, Lullaby, on his latest one.
Okay. Bold choice.
Some nice incest lines from Yungblud.
I don't want to know what they get up into in Doncaster.
This bit's kind of cool.
Is that even Yungblud?
Oh, a little oohs in the background. I feel like this is going to be spoken word.
And these little interludes are very much like his first album.
You are just an ice cream man. Take my dreams and get them back.
I don't really get the chorus line either.
No.
Yeah, it means almost nothing.
Yeah.
I think he wrote this at the same time as his first album.
That would make sense.
But even on the first album, this would be one of the worst songs. I get it's just supposed to be fun, but
Yeah. Bit of a throwaway track.
yeah.
I just like the notion of somewhat firing what feels like a thinly veiled insult to someone saying, "You're just an ice cream man. That's all you are."
Yeah, I mean, with that song, it kind of reminded me of Parents as well. Like, obviously, similar time frame there, but more. It just felt theatrical. It didn't feel as personal as some of the other ones that I've really enjoyed.
Yeah, it's got no substance to it,
No.
and it sticks out. For me, that's the one when people are like, "Are there any songs on Weird you hate?" I'm like, I hate that Ice Cream Man's on it. I don't necessarily hate the song, but I hate that it's on that album.
Doesn't quite fit everything else that's happened so far.
Every other song, even the more upbeat ones, have got some sort of substance to it, and Ice Cream Man just hasn't. But
Well,
yeah.
it's the title track next in Weird.
I can't sleep at this time. I got
Like that little breakbeat drum beat going on.
I feel like this is one of Youngblood's only ventures into full-on pop punk as it gets into the chorus.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like,
Seems like-
yeah.
Only those who are asleep don't make mistakes, get no critique. Seems everybody's worried about the things that we are thinking.
I feel like I'm like floating through a movie or something right now. Do you know what I mean?
Perfect time for this song to come out, as you'll see with the chorus, because this was during lockdown.
Come hold my hand, hold it tight. Don't wreck your brain. It'll be alright.
Well, I like the little electronic notes coming in the background.
The like arpeggiated synth going on.
I think the production on the vocals works perfectly over the chorus. I just wish there was a little bit less on the verses, because it just makes it sound a bit artificial. But you still hear his accent.
Yeah.
Me as an angry 19-year-old, love that.
Straight angst.
I know what you mean when it kicks into those chorus sections that, like, when the guitars and drums really are in full force, has a bit more of a funky feel. Still wouldn't say it's super pop punk though.
No.
the closest that you'll get with Yungblud, though.
But
I imagine.
That's what I mean. And when people make the comparisons between him and Machine Gun Kelly, I'm like, well, you're comparing it from the pop punk side of it. And Yungblud, this is one of the closest he's ever gone to it.
Yeah, and if this is the closest, how can you then compare the two?
There's a couple on self-titled, but they're really short. And
I think that's a great track. I think it's a good one to be the title track because we've got those guitar elements, we've got some nice vocals. It feels a little bit more personal still in terms of like how he's feeling in life. But then we've also got some of those more electronic influences that we've seen on some of the other tracks. I think, again, there's been a few... I'm actually really liking the way that this album is flowing, that it's albuming, do you know what I mean?
yeah, there's a mix of themes. And that song, for me, the message that it reflects is the message of the album of it's hope. Like, yeah, shit things are happening, but it'll be all right.
Yeah, it hits that happy medium of, like I was saying before, we got a track that's a bit more, you know, heartfelt and emotional. Then you've got the energy track. That felt like it was slap bang in the center, where it was heartfelt. You know, it makes you feel emotions, makes you. It's a feel good track, but it still has that energy in there. Yeah. Whereas some of the other ones that are in that vein with the lyrical content that we heard there aren't quite as energetic as that. So that kind of, you know, it meets in the middle and does a nice job of just tying it all together.
Is that say chatty or charity?
Charity.
Charity.
Now, this is definitely his most Britpop influenced on this album.
Well, let's go into charity.
Mother!
Opening sounds like Oasis, and then we go straight into Blur.
Ah, there we go. Yeah. You could feel the influences in this chorus as well, can't you?
Clear as daylight. Yeah. Oasis meets Blur.
Yeah.
Nice little scream in the background.
That line, I donate my brain to charity, is very catchy. I like that a lot.
It's a good name for the title.
Yeah.
Again, going back to those shrieky vocals.
Mm-hmm. Kind of reminds me of the Peep Show intro song.
Oh, yeah.
The flagpole sitter.
Goated show.
Yeah.
Personally, that's my least favourite so far.
I was just about to say, I think that's a strong contender for one of my favourite tracks off the album.
I don't know what it is about it. I just didn't vibe with it. I think you're right. It has a bit more of that Britpoppy feel, but I don't know. I just feel like if I ever wanted that vibe, this is not where I'd come.
Right. Okay. Yeah. You feel like you'd get that from somewhere else.
Yeah. It was just seemed like a very safe. All right, we're going to test this sound, but there wasn't really much. Ooh. I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it.
Brutal.
Fair. My mate Luke's watching. Yeah, I told you it wasn't the best on the album.
I agree with you, Luke.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Charity. I sadly have not seen it live yet, but I would really like to. I don't know, it's just energetic, but I get what you're saying. There's such very clear influences that you just like, well, I'll just listen to them. Yeah, it's a bit derivative.
But like even on his new album, I think that he had a lot of those influences throughout, and he did a better job of it. I don't know. This kind of felt like he was still trying to be like, yeah, I'm Yungblud, but here's this exact sound. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. You two clearly love it.
But I mean, he's lent more into that on the newer project, and there's more of that Britpop sound on that. And I think there's always a fine line between whether you are influenced by or whether you are trying to do a recreation of. And I feel like that was just different enough that it didn't feel like he was purposely trying to step on any toes. But I understand what you're saying. I do feel like that was slightly more in a different field to the other versions of what that was close to. So I thought that was really good.
Let's go on to one of the final 3 tracks in Acting Like That featuring Machine Gun Kelly.
Got some nice Travis Barker drums there.
Is it Travis Barker on this track as well? I was going to say it feels weird for these two to be on a track without Travis, so that makes sense.
I remember this coming out. It was like the start of that era, really. It's like the first time that they'd all started working together. This and I Think I'm Okay. I like the way the guitar just screeches in.
The only thing I have with this song is it just feels so generic with how much pop punk MGK had out at this time and the other stuff that Yungblud's done around this time. It fades into the background for me.
Yeah, it's not particularly standout.
It's solid. And vocally, considering this is Youngblood's song, it sounds a little bit phoned in from Yungblud, I can't lie.
Feels like he's the feature at this point, and it's MGK's track.
Which might have been intentional, because in my opinion, Youngblood steals I Think I'm Okay. So maybe it was MGK's time to shine.
Yeah, maybe they would have been better on the alternate albums if they'd have swapped the tracks over. Like the lyrical content as well doesn't feel like something Yungblud would usually come with.
No.
Saying you're too hot to be acting like that. That feels very MGK.
I think this was an MGK song that he gave to Yungblud.
Yeah.
That last section there is pretty cool. The way it all kind of drops out. You go, wow!
What did it go like?
Wow!
It's always interesting to me that Yungblud and MGK kind of teamed up. And I understand that they did because the styles... I mean, vocally, I get it. But style-wise, when you actually think about the content that MGK has versus the kind of content that Yungblud has, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it would be a match... But it seems to work very well. But they both do have very particular voices, and I feel like they're both artists where a lot of people have their opinions based on them purely because of how their voice sounds. So to have both of them on the track, I can imagine it's people that don't like them's worst nightmare.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. That track, it's not the best example of kind of this phase of pop punk and MGK and Yungblud, and of the few things that they've done together, I think this is probably towards the bottom of the pile. But at the same, like, I don't hate it. It's just there. It just exists. It's like one of the first tracks on this album that I'd say is just an album track. It's a bit more of a filler.
It's empty. It's like so many MGK pop punk songs of just talking about shit that's going on in his head, a little bit of drug use, casual sex, just the standard things that are in his songs. And when you have it on an album like this that's full of so much deeper emotions and fun, something that's just like, yeah, my life's awful, I don't care.
I mean, this is around the era of Tickets as well, isn't it, this album? So you can tell that this is when he was going into that pop punk sound, and he was trying to kind of cement what the new wave of pop punk would be by saying, like, this is how it's going to sound and this is how I'm going to do it. And I completely agree with you there, where that just feels like it's another one of those where he's just like, I'm going to do an album of all pop punk tracks, and this just feels like overflow, where he's going, do you want this track? Because I'm not going to put it on my album, so if you want it, you can have it.
Yeah. Well, before we go on to track 13 in It's Quiet in Beverly Hills, make sure to hit like and subscribe. And also, you've nearly listened to the full album with us, so let us know in the comments what your favourite track on Weird is. But let's roll on.
little bit of acoustic kicking
Yeah.
things off.
I feel like we haven't heard that yet.
Yeah.
At
This
all.
one brings it down a little bit.
Inside a goldfish tank where people fix themselves with rubber bands. It's quiet in Beverly Hills.
Got some string work coming in as well. Damn.
The production on this, it's so sharp on the guitar and the vocals as well.
I love you all of my life until you close your eyes.
It's got a bit of a country swing to it, a little bit.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. It's that acoustic. Really, really like his vocals on those lines
Yeah.
there. That's really nice.
I got friends who fuck their friends in places
Because he's speaking clearly as well. Gives a lot more depth.
from online shopping.
Hmm.
When what you see
Oh, I thought he was going to kick in there. Oh, interesting.
what you felt to be. Therapy told me my blood was orange.
Blood orange reference.
It's quiet in Beverly Hills. I'm tired in Beverly Hills.
Whenever I hear Beverly Hills, immediately think of Weezer. Every time.
Really? I think of the Chihuahua.
I think the Housewives.
The Chihuahua.
There's a film called Beverly Hills Chihuahua, isn't there?
You covered the road.
bit of a rogue one.
I know.
It was a popular film.
Effortless delivery on these lines. Feels good. Feels nice. We've said throughout this that there's some tracks that we feel like are, two people, and some tracks that are about him and himself and, the situations that he's in. That definitely felt like it was a heartfelt song meant for somebody. I feel like there was somebody out there that heard that went, oh, this is Dom talking to me here.
I've really preferred those Karma tracks. Like, out of this album, I think those ones where he's kind of taken a step back and it's been a bit more personal have been by far my favourites.
That's a fair take, because Love Song, which that song really seems to join up with this one quite well, I think is an absolute highlight. Yeah, it does pick up a bit more than It's Quiet in Beverly Hills, but I completely agree with what you mean of, like, is it directly about him and his experiences? No, but to someone out there who might not be taken too seriously because they might be in a good situation, I think it's a little bit of comfort.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Definitely.
it's the last track of the album, lads. The Freak Show. Again, I'm assuming with that title, it's going to be a bit more energetic.
This one, I will just say, you have to wait it out a bit. It does repeat a bit, but it builds to something.
Okay.
I'm worried when you've got to give us a pre-warning.
Yeah. Please give it a chance, please.
Don't slag it off.
Backstreet's back. Whoa. This doesn't sound like anything else on the album so far.
It's like it's just a different song.
Opened out into like an MCR chorus. This is... Wow, okay.
And again, when you listen to some of the songs on Idols, you can see that this was where he started coming up with that style.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say we're going back into that again. Yeah. Interesting mix of the two styles, though.
Yeah.
The beat almost sounds like something that could be on a really weird Eminem track.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is that mix of styles, and Eminem's a big influence for Yungblud.
Yeah.
As he is for, I think, any artist.
Yeah.
MGK is crying right now.
I do like how the tempo just drops immediately, then slightly builds back up to get that chorus in. Very grandioso.
I just love how thick the instrumental sounds. Some beautiful work on the drums as well.
Oh. New style.
Bringing back those wind chimes. The background vocals as well on this song, lovely.
There's a lot of harmonies going on. A lot of different vocal tracks going on. Whew. You know what?
Powerful vocal to end it.
Those accented vocals with the guitar hits and the drum hits each time with that adding to it. That was a great way to end the album. That was impressive.
I was slightly concerned at the start of that song. I really didn't think I'd like it, but you were right. Over the course of it, it won me over. It did go in lots of different directions, but given how the album has gone, I think that makes sense as a last track for the album.
Yeah, no, I love that the last line is believing in you, because that's just, it feels like throughout the whole album, Yungblud's finally found a place where people are believing in him and giving him a chance, and he's proven himself. And yeah, such a powerful, beautiful vocal to end it with. The only thing I will say for it, yes, a build-up is warranted, but how many times do we have to hear the same line? It's like hello, heaven, hello again.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
not as hello, hello.
Like you've got bad reception on the phone.
Well, that's it. That's weird. It's the first time I've ever sat and listened to it in full. I thought it was very good, in my opinion, but the one thing that let it down a little bit for me, the sounds were great. The individual tracks, a lot of the calmer ones were good. The more energetic ones were good. And I'm not saying I don't like the album, but there was just like every 4 or 5 songs, one thrown in there that kind of threw it off in terms of the crafting of it. And like you said, some of it seemed like it was the old Yungblud from some of his older projects creeping through.
Yeah.
And maybe he could have just left some of those tracks out. And I think as an album, it would have been a little bit better.
I think a couple that would probably stand out for me in that realm would probably be Acting Like That, the MGK track. You could have done without that being in there. And then, whilst I did enjoy it, Super Dead Friends also felt like it might have been something from a different, like a great song. Does it fit with this album? Maybe not. But I mean, overall, I came into this album not knowing what to expect, because personally, when it comes to Yungblud, I'm not a hater. I'm not particularly a fan. I'm just kind of in the middle ground. Idols, I thought, was absolutely fantastic. With this, I'm well aware that he has a particular voice and there's a particular opinion that people have of him. I thought listening to this, I'd find it difficult to find the upsides to stuff. But I was actually really blown away by how coherent this is as a project, and also just how much, vocal ability is on display here. I really do feel like now, after listening to this, maybe it's just his debut album that had that kind of egregious, accented, I'm going to try and rap style on it. This was like a step up from that. And yeah, I really liked it, actually.
Yeah, all throughout the album, I completely agree. There's some clashing tones. Don't get me wrong, sometimes it works. So when you go from Cotton Candy to Strawberry Lipstick, Cotton Candy's, it's very sexual. So then going into Strawberry Lipstick, which is very upbeat, makes sense. But then going from Ice Cream Man, which is just, it's worse than old Yungblud with the vocal style.
I forgot about Ice Cream Man.
He's like exaggerating it to the max, and then going into Weird, which is actually quite a hopeful, thoughtful song, doesn't work as well. But yeah, is it the most cohesive album? No, absolutely not. But purely for me, because of when it came out in my life, and this was when I discovered him, I am biased towards it.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's by no means a perfect album.
I think on the cohesion front, though, for me, I think it does work. I think the way the way that it runs through, it kind of, like you were saying earlier, it has the peaks and troughs, and I like that. And yes, there is a couple of songs in there that you could do without, and it would probably boost it up a score or two. But overall, I think it's quite cohesive.
Yeah, maybe that shouldn't have been the point I opened with, because I also want to stress there was a lot that I really enjoyed about this album. Like, his vocals throughout were fantastic, and he tested a lot of different sounds. Some a little bit more calm, as if he was putting no effort in, but still clean, and then some with that more raspiness and a bit more anger in there. I think that this album was kind of, to me, because obviously I like Yungblud. I've seen him before live a bunch of times, and I've listened to his singles a lot. This album felt like he was kind of in that in-between phase of, like, being really confident in the sound and album that he wants to put out, and then just some of those old sounds creeping through every now and then. And I just think that I picked up on those old sounds creeping through a little bit, but still really enjoyed it.
I think the only thing that I would say about it is, when it comes to Youngblood's older sound, there are moments of it that I absolutely give merit, because there's some of his older tracks like Brain Dead, Hope for the Underrated Youth should have replaced Ice Cream Man on here, because after God Save 'Em, Don't Drown Me Out, that would have worked so much better. But very few things in life are perfect. That's what I'd say. Some things are weird.
Oh, there you go. Perfect ending for that. And if you did enjoy this video, please do not forget to like and subscribe. And please go and check out Cinematic's channel. We'll leave the link down in the description. He's Yungblud everything. Everything you could ever want relating to Yungblud is over there.
Glazer.
There you go. That's exactly what it is. So if you did enjoy this, you will definitely like his channel.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's all right. Thank you.